In the summer of 2015, Václav Gvoždík, herpetologist working at the Institute of Vertebrate Biology and my PhD supervisor, told me that he thinks about participation in the competition for funding the best scientific expedition by Neuron Foundation. He told me about a mysterious crocodile from Central Africa which is not treated as a separate species, although it clearly should be. We have sent a short video to the competition, and after the final presentation, we knew that we will get the financial support for organizing the expedition. After a long preparation, we were ready to travel to the Congo in January 2017. Our target species is a small crocodile with the scientific name Osteolaemus osborni. In English Congo, dwarf crocodile. It was described already in 1919, but soon it was treated as a subspecies of dwarf crocodile. Because of the difficult political situation in the Congo, scientists didn't travel to this country for decades, and this interesting reptile was forgotten. It differs from its relative morphologically and also genetically. It lives in a big area of the Congo basin, but the detailed limits of its range are not known. We are heading to the Republic of Congo to look for this crocodile. We escape the cold winter in Europe and arrive to the capital of the country, Brazzaville, but it will take us some time to go to the rainforest. First, we have to meet our assistants Jeremy Thomas and Ange Zazibulu, who will help us to get the necessary permits for research and organize everything needed for our way to the wilderness. Everything must be well prepared for the next difficult 5 weeks of this expedition. Our driver, Alan, is working on the expedition car. Finally, we just need to buy some basic storage of food and things for cooking, and we are ready to travel north.
On the street, yeah.
We leave the house of Arthur Sniegon, a Czech guy who lives in Brazzaville and fights against the ivory black market, who kindly invited us to his house.
Dobré ráno z Brazzaville. Tohle je naše expediční auto. Jsme připraveni, máme za sebou týden příprav, zařizování různých povolení, výzkumu a tak dále. No a nyní můžeme vyrazit na severozápad Konga, na hranicích s Gabonem.
There are a few days of a long journey ahead of us to the northwest of the country, where should be a good area for researching crocodiles. We hope that in the flooded forests on the border with Gabon live both dwarf crocodile and also Congo dwarf crocodile. At the beginning, we will explore the region of Sembe and Swanky City, and we will travel back south to the region of Kelle. Our research will be finished in the Ojala Kukua National Park, which we can enter just from the southern border of the protected area.
Právě jsme zhruba v polovině cesty z Brazzaville na sever Konga. Urazili jsme cca 600 km a ještě zhruba 600 km máme před sebou. A právě se nacházíme v městečku Makua, kterým prochází přímo rovník.
Blížíme se na rovník. Blížíme se na rovník, blížíme se do školy zároveň, děláme pozdvižení nejspíš brzo.
Asi jo.
Ano, mám tady samé nuly na displeji.
Aha.
Samé nuly.
Přímo na rovníku.
Ano, dokonce GPSka neví, co s tím, chvíli tam hází N jako sever, chvíli S jako jih.
The most famous beer in the Congo is called ngok, which means in Lingala language a crocodile. We hope that this fact can bring us some luck. After visiting the equator, we discuss the logistics of the next program, and we check again the important features for determining our target species. In that moment, we don't know that our first crocodile is just a few meters from us, directly in the kitchen of the restaurant. It is our first, but definitely not last encounter with a bushmeat. One of our goals will be to get as much information as possible about the hunting pressure of crocodiles and methods used for trapping them. The music played in this place just exaggerates the absurd atmosphere of the situation. We take tissue samples from the dead animal, but they will probably not be in a good condition for genetic analysis due to the ongoing rotting process. We arrived to Sembe, and this city will be our starting point for exploring the surrounding region, which will take us about 2 weeks. First, we want to visit the villages around and get some information about crocodiles from hunters. News about white people looking for crocodiles is spreading quickly, and the following morning we are invited to one house. We find there 2 captured Congo Dwarf Crocodiles, and we ask the hunter about the locality and method of hunting.
Vous voyez, comme il a la queue là, quand il marche là, la queue là, ça fait des traces.
Ah, ok.
Et c'est des traces là qui doivent te diriger, là où il va dormir.
So you follow the tracks, the tail tracks until the hole.
So it's from the surroundings of Lopo village, right?
C'est autour de Lopo, c'est ça? Autour de Lopo que tu les as attrapés?
Oui, oui, oui.
Lopo, and it's from forest, flooded forest, marshlands, or what kind of habitat?
C'était dans quel genre?
Voilà, si tu peux. Bon, et pour les attraper, ça doit être pendant les saisons sèches.
Ouais.
Les saisons sèches. Parce que la saison de pluie, il y a beaucoup de marre d'eau. Donc c'est impossible de l'arrêter. Donc pendant la saison sèche, tu peux faire le moins possible d'arrêter même. Si tu veux arrêter même par jour, au moins 2 ou 3.
And how far is it from the village?
Combien de distance du village à peu près?
Bon, ça peut faire au moins même 10 ou 8 km.
8, 10 kilometers.
8?
Yeah, 8, 10.
We buy both animals and transport them to a much calmer place behind the city. Therefore, we save their life.
On les a mis tous les deux, la tête là-bas au fond.
Ouais, on va laisser.
On va pas. Ils vont pas bouger.
Just to transfer them to a blue Ils sont lourds.
With a life exemplar of the species, we can look at the typical features for determination. In each individual, we will record and measure the weight and sex, and we will take a small piece of tissue for genetic research in the lab.
Yeah, so
small, yeah.
he has higher number of those nuchal scales, but
and
relatively small.
Yeah, you have 6, those ones.
And I think the 4 here are
Those ones, yeah.
no.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I would say those ones.
But Osborne has all the area here soft without the bone. So if you touch it, it's just soft.
D'os entre les deux narines.
The sex determination is easy in crocodiles.
There is something. Let's say penis.
Okay.
Já bych řekl, že to bude kluk.
Dobře. Jestli tam něco cítíš, tak...
Hele.
Aha,
You can get it out.
Aha.
Male.
Jo, je to samec.
I'll be dirty now. Sorry.
You went quite deep.
Really?
Both reptiles are very exhausted because they have spent 2 weeks out of water in inappropriate conditions. We travel to villages in this region and explain our goal to the people there. We financially motivate the hunters to catch some crocodiles for us. Congo Dwarf Crocodile is treated as a well-known dwarf crocodile in the Congo, which belongs to a protected species. At this time of year, it is completely prohibited to hunt these reptiles, so hunters get temporary permission to catch some for research purposes. Finally, we are able to cover quite a big area, going as far as the region of Swanky City, near the border with Cameroon, and for our own trip to the rainforest, we choose a locality near the border with Gabon. We are on our way to the farthest village, where we can go by car. Here we have to meet the chief of the village, and he must agree that we will spend some time in the surrounding forests.
Takže vykládáme všechno své vybavení a vyrážíme konečně do pralesa zkusit nachytat své vlastní krokodily.
Tady máme síť a nějakou zásobu těch jezel a tak, takovou jako velkou, kterou nepotřebujeme. Zásobu nějakých pytlíků, v zásadě si myslím, že tohle by se brát nemuselo. Stačí si z toho vyndat něco. Rozhodně tady máme síť, kterou potřebujeme, ale všechny věci asi ne.
The negotiation process usually takes a long time in Africa, and bargaining is widely used. We need porters and a cook, and each person we have to agree on their salary. The locals are trying to get as much as they can, so we come to an agreement very late, which means that we have to spend the night in the village. The next day, we eventually go to the rainforest. There is about a 10-kilometer long march in the high humidity and temperatures ahead of us. The suitable ecosystem for a mysterious crocodile is a flooded forest, so we have to cross several places with plenty of water.
Yeah. I think I'm fine. Yep. Jo.
Přešel, jo?
Jo.
Že by ses nabral.
Přesně tak. Já v tom mám expertízu.
Nateče, vyteče,
No.
dálky.
No.
After 5 hours of walking, the porters refuse to go further and they try to get more money from us.
Po dlouhé diskuzi nakonec vyrážíme o 2 kilometry dál, než se plánovalo, až na místo, kde se vyskytuje podle informací lovce hodně krokodýlů.
Tak snad to bude pravda. Ale nosiči už nechtěli pokračovat.
Finally, we arrive at a good place for setting up our camp. With the dark coming, we are prepared for the first hunt. Congo dwarf crocodiles are active during the night, and we use strong torches to find them. We follow the local hunter, who is very experienced.
Tak, místo krokodýla jsme našli zatím vodní želvu.
We almost pass along our first crocodile without noticing its presence.
Super, takže máme prvního krokodýla.
It's trying to bite. Wow. So we passed along and it's just sitting here.
Yeah,
Osborny.
Osborný.
Be careful, you don't have close.
Yeah.
It's not sure that I will hold it. Máme
Krokodýl
tady
konžský.
našeho tajemného krokodýla konžského, první úlovek. Vlastnoruční, společnýma silama nalezený. Zrovna mu ošetříme tlamu, aby nás náhodou nepokousal.
Enough? One more.
No, maybe
One more.
Should be enough.
Tak co myslíš, je to samec nebo samice?
Má to velkou hlavu, takovou barevnou, tak bych spíš řekl samec, si myslím.
Jak je asi starý podle tebe?
No, tak věk si netroufám jako říci, ale
Je dospělej.
no, je každopádně dospělej a řekl bych, že je i docela starý. Což fakt nemůžu říct, jak moc starý může být, ale je to prostě starý zvíře, no. Takže řekněme 20 let, možná i víc. Prostě poctivý, dospělý starý zvíře, kterému chybí velký kus ocasu.
No.
Má v podstatě jenom půlku ocasu, druhou půlku ztratil zjevně už někdy dávno, to už má krásně všechno zojený. Zřejmě v souboji s nějakým jiným krokodýlem pravděpodobně, nebo po případě nějakým predátorem. Možná i lovcem, ale to si úplně nemyslím. Lidé většinou jsou v lovu úspěšní, bohužel. Tak se na něj podíváme, sice nás ještě může trošku poškrabat, ale snad už bude hodnej. Snad jo. Docela těžký.
Jo. Vypadá, že má plné bříško. Hodně plné bříško.
A čůra. Na chvíli si tě půjčíme do kempu, pak tě zase vrátíme do lesa.
Like this? Oh, okay. I was thinking put it like a backpack.
Tak. Krokodýl je v našem kempu.
No, nebyl lehký, 20 kg možná má, nebo 18.
Uvidíme, zítra ho zvážíme.
Asi kilometr jsem s ním šel na rameni, no. Docela mi to dalo zabrat.
During daytime, we usually work in the camp with the animals which were caught during the previous night. We use the opportunity to be in the field to collect samples, also from other groups of herpetofauna, because we have currently more running projects focused on Central Africa. Turtles from the genus Pelusius and chameleons from the genus Trioceras share the forest with crocodiles. Our first crocodile weighs 16 kilograms, and despite the missing part of the tail, it measures more than 130 centimeters. Probably belongs to the biggest individuals of the species.
I'm not sure about that. He's not moving it up. Hi, I can see.
I can read.
Can you read it?
Hunters have killed a mangabe. It is a protected monkey species, but similar to what we saw with the crocodiles, here in the Congo, nobody really obeys the law. Moreover, monkeys are a favorite source of food for the Congolians. The animal is firstly thrown to the fire and then cut into smaller pieces. We also transported to the camp 2 exhausted crocodiles from Sembe. We want to give them a chance to start again and release them here into their natural habitat.
So, bye-bye, thank you, and hope you will recover and hopefully will not die. Water, freedom, but I know that you are so weak, but you can recover. Tak běž se schovat, jsi volná, snad se zpamatuješ z těch svých útrap.
During the next nights, we look for more crocodiles.
Máš ho? Výborně. Druhý krokodýl. Mláďátko.
Zborný opět.
Krokodýl konžský znovu. Jo, takže máme 3. krokodýla, střední velikost.
Vrai spécialiste pour crocodile.
Oui.
Zase krokodýl konžský. Takže lovec zabil antilopu, chytil krokodýla a želvu. Šikovný lovec. Tak to jsme zvědaví. To je nějaká obrovská chocholatka, ne?
Má to růžky.
Má to růžky.
Je to asi nějaká velká chocholatka.
No.
The number of crocodiles is rising, and also the amount of collected data. It is great that we can work with individuals of different sizes, and we can see the morphological changes connected with the aging process. We examine every individual from all angles because, for example, the number of ventral scales is an important feature for distinguishing Osteolaemus osborni from Osteolaemus tetraspis. Most of the crocodiles are males, but we also have some females. For later genetic analysis, we take a small piece of tissue from the fingers and we store them in the tubes filled with ethanol. Almost nothing is known about the diet of these dwarf crocodiles. In one reptile, we do the stomach flushing, which might seem to be very invasive. But the truth is that the only other method for getting data about food items is to kill and dissect the animal. We find the remains of fish and crustaceans, but also a giant millipede, which is not a typical prey for a crocodile. Then gastrolites, which are stones swallowed by animals to help it digest the prey eaten without chewing. After we collect our data, it is time to release the animals to the same places where we found them.
Dobrý?
Dobrý, ale... Tak rozloučení s krokodýlí samičkou, moc pěknou. Ta s náma strávila jeden den v kempu, teď půjde zase zpátky do přírody. Tak, půjdeš, už se těšíš. Ještě asi nevíš, víš, že už můžeš, ale už můžeš. A teď už se měj hezky, ať vyrosteš do pěkného, krásného krokodýla. Co? Poplaveš někam?
We are very happy that we are able to catch some crocodiles in their natural habitat. And now it is time to continue to other regions.
Tak opouštíme náš kemp hluboko v pralese a vyrážíme zpátky do civilizace.
V úvozovkách hodně.
Ano.
Civilizace bez pouličního osvětlení a tak dále.
A elektřiny.
In the villages, there are some more crocodiles waiting for us.
Grand. A má krátký čumák celkem, ale vypadá to na ozborného zase. On má jenom to chytlý zuby, ne? On má jenom chytlý zuby, podle mě.
In some of them, the negotiation process takes a long time. For an adult crocodile, the local people can pay as much as 25,000 Central African francs, which is equal to approximately 40 euros. The price offered to us is of course much higher. We met one hunter who has already killed the crocodile and cut it into small pieces. Apart from crocodiles, we find also endangered tortoises from the genus Cynixus in the houses of the villagers. They use them for the live storage of meat. Beautiful chameleons are fortunately not in danger because people are afraid of them and they don't kill them. Males of some species, such as Trioceros oweni, have impressive horns. We collect the data from all caught crocodiles as quickly as possible. Then we transport them to a place far away from the villages where we want to release them. These animals were not in a bad condition for a long time, so they are full of energy and eager to return to the forest stream. In general, we observe that Congo Dwarf crocodiles are much more calm during manipulation than other crocodilian species.
Jo, to bylo rychlý.
Time is running out, so we continue to another part of the country. We travel south, and after 2 days, we arrive to the Kelle city. Not far away from here, Václav found dwarf crocodile and Congo dwarf crocodile at the same locality 5 years ago. Therefore, we have high expectations and hope to have some productive days ahead of us.
Do you want small pieces or?
Yeah, if it's possible. Oui, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Merci.
Merci.
Trošku visí ve vzduchu to kolo, no.
No.
But soon we have to deal with the first obstacle. Despite the fact it is a dry season, during the last few days it was raining a lot here and the road is very, very muddy. Fortunately, strong men from nearby villages come to help us. Again, we visit some villages and collect data from hunters.
En tout cas, nous bouchageons, parce que si on avait une bégie, on pouvait foncer, mais les luxe, là où une bégie passe, le luxe.
Returning to Kelle should be an easy journey, but the road changes our plans. The expedition car has to deal with the first real problems here. Finally, we have to ask for help in the nearest village, where we get the offer to sleep in the house of the chief. We share his bedroom with 4 others and some chickens. The next morning we struggle again, and it takes us 6 hours to drive a distance of 17 kilometers. Despite all these troubles, we managed to reach the locality which Václav visited 5 years ago. From the nearest village, we go to the forest. Everywhere around, we can see the signs of intensive mining and logging by Chinese companies. It is something new here, so Václav is very upset about it.
Před 5 lety tady byl primární les v krásném stavu, dá se říct. A teď tady máme, před chvíli jsme prošli takovou velkou cestu a tohle je nějaká postranní těžařská cesta. No prostě prales zmizí. Čínské společnosti tady hledají cesty k dalším těžařským oblastem, kde by mohli těžit zlato a jiné minerály a hlavně dřevo. No jo, no. realita. They brought more planks and the liana for holding. So
Okay, he can go.
now it's quite okay.
After a while, we have to cross a flooded area, which gives us a clue as to how it looks inside the forest.
Návrat do mého kempu po 5 letech. Paráda. Skvělý pocit. Já už jsem tu teda dneska jednou byl na průzkumu předběžným, jestli to má cenu tam chodit. Usoudil jsem, že jo.
Soon after, we set the camp up, just before the heavy rain starts. We find a skull of a dwarf crocodile, which is a direct sign of its presence in the forest. Very soon, we realize that we will not be able to catch crocodiles due to a high level of water. We are at least happy to find a non-venomous snake from Bothrophthalmus bruneus species. We show it to the hunters and have fun from their panic of the fear of snakes. Hunters tell us that they can create traps which can be used for catching crocodiles even in the flooded forest. They want to use the leftovers from their kills as bait. But soon we are very upset because they start to bring the endangered species of mammals to our camp, such as bush pig and the colobus monkey. Bushmeat is very common in the Congo, and people here don't hesitate to kill the animals, even during periods of the year when hunting is prohibited. Meat from pangolins, antelopes, or monkeys is the favorite choice of many people if they can get it instead of chicken or fish. Thus, fighting with this phenomenon is very difficult because it is about culture and tradition, not only poverty. The hunter is working on the temporary traps. They are easy to build and should be effective. Crocodile will be trapped by the loop from the rope, which is not strong enough to injure it. The guts from the colobus monkey are used as bait. We checked the traps every night, but nothing was caught. Our work here was not successful, and unfortunately, we will not bring any data from this valuable region. The last thing we have to do is to visit the villagers and ask if they caught anything. After our previous experience with the car, we hire motorbikes. A few times we see that it was a good idea. Nobody has seen any crocodiles around, though. Our last research locality would be Ojala Kukua National Park. The weather is better, and we are looking forward to work in the habitat full of big animals. There is not much data about crocodiles from the genus Osteolaemus in this park. However, we hope to be lucky this time. Ojala Kukua National Park covers an area of 13,600 square kilometers and protects a unique mosaic of savanna and rainforest in Central Africa. The big mammals come out of the forest to the bays, which are open areas where the soil is rich with salt and other minerals. Animals of all sizes and shapes are lured to such places. We want to find out if our small crocodile also have a niche in this habitat. During the day, we can observe the forest buffaloes, bush bucks, and many birds. The frogs are extremely loud here. Animals are relatively safe inside the park, but poachers also come here sometimes. We go out for a walk before the night, and we find many signs of forest elephant activity in the area. The elephants are quite shy in the park, and usually come out covered with blankets of darkness. We also go out in this time.
Hurá, nějaká spruha.
Po dlouhé době neúspěchů se konečně zadařilo. Nachytli jsme si dalšího krokodýla vlastnoručně. OK, mám krokodýla. Tak 3. krokodýl za jednu noc.
To je nejlepší zatím.
No. Všechno taková zvláštní střední až menší velikost.
During one night, we caught 5 crocodiles and a total of 7 in the park. All of them belong to Osteolaemus osborni. We are happy to have more work now.
Strange position. Wet foot.
A ranger and manager of the lodge for tourists is accompanying us when we go to release all the individuals. For them, it's a very interesting moment, because they didn't even know that such animals live here.
Oh. Oops. It's here. Oh, třeba.
Thanks to the night activity, the dwarf crocodiles are living a secretive life and almost nobody notices their presence. During 2 months in the Congo, we explored the northwestern part of the country at the border with Gabon. The populations of Congo dwarf crocodiles are not in a terrible condition yet, but the hunting pressure on them is high. If it continues this way, these interesting reptiles can be facing extinction soon. We collected much data about the hunting techniques used by local people, and we took tissue samples for future genetic analysis. We are sure that this crocodile is a separate species, and the goal for the future will be to get more detailed information about the range of both Osteolaemus osborni and Osteolaemus tetraspis. After coming back to the Czech Republic, there is a lot of laboratory work ahead of us, and then we will analyze the data and publish the results. And who knows, maybe we will return to the Congo once more for another crocodile expedition.